Don't you spend enough time waiting for patches, system updates, and even worse, title updates? On Lag Free, we won't waste your time, and we talk about the topics that you want to hear about in a decidedly different fashion. No scripts or forced sides here. Listen to Lag Free, recorded and released regularly on Intrepid Audio Productions.
The best. Or worst food. What I ate. Check it out at the best or worst food, whatIate.blogspot.com.
Sort of break it down like this.
Oh, fantastic. He is one of the biggest meatballs on Twitter.
I'm an idiot.
No, it's okay.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mike.
Could you please take back Tim Tebow?
Oh, awesome.
Play college football in touch.
I don't understand where these questions are coming from, Tom. That's about it for Manager's Corner. Go yourself and with your show coming up next on the Baltimore Oriole Baseball Network.
I made a note about college sports, and the note just says college sports in general.
Whammy!
Can't do it.
The changes that have happened in the Cub organization are multifold.
Boogie boogie. Great stuff. Welcome back to Chicago Sports Update here on Intrepid Audio Productions. Just to all the listeners, thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Chicago Sports Update here on IAP Podcast, coming to you the day after the Bears pulled off a nice win against the Cleveland Browns, the day after the return of Jay Cutler, and wow, that is really, really nice to see, and nice to see that he was able to help get the win. Yeah, he wasn't as sharp as I'd certainly like Jay Cutler to be, but, bad decision. Jay certainly did rear his head. A couple of interceptions, not what we like to see here as Bears fans, but of course, well, they beat up on the Browns. That's all well and good. See you next preseason as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. One of the other things, Martellus Bennett, yes, he had a fumble. Certainly not really happy to see that. Otherwise, well, the Trestman offense is certainly a thing of beauty. I saw a stat today that as far as 400-plus yards of offense generation, he's done that 8 times now in the 14 games that he's been here. And, well, that is only 5 shy of I shouldn't say the record, but the high watermark set by Lovie Smith, which was 13 in his 9 years with the team. Ouch. So, yes, let that show you what offensive capability and offensive mind Lovie Smith had, which was certainly none. So, very happy to see that the offense returned to form. I shouldn't say returned to form, kept its form, even in the shores of Lake Erie and the extreme weather that they were having as far as winter was concerned. So yes, lots of snow, lots of wind, blah, 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 blah. Bears overcame, beat a lesser opponent, happy about that. Now taking a half-game lead into tonight as the Ravens are over at Detroit. And, now the pressure's on Detroit to not be Detroit. Certainly that is quite a feat that has yet to be accomplished by Detroit. But we'll see what happens. This is going to certainly be a game of interest for Bears fans here. But as I sounded off last time regarding Jay Cutler and Josh McCown, there was no controversy as far as the Bears were concerned. And even though Jay Glazer liked to poison the well and sensationalize just a blown out of proportion story, it's no news that Jay Glazer is close friends with Brian Urlacher, and it's certainly no news otherwise that Brian Urlacher is not a big fan of Jay Cutler, as Jay Cutler was the new darling by the organization, by the front office, in the direction they wanted to go in trying to instill a better offense. Well, Brian Urlacher was able to kind of, I don't want to say poison the Bears organization against him, but certainly did a fair enough job in the media perception, and I guess the average to, sub-attentive, I guess would be the best way, the below-attentive NFL fan regarding Jay Cutler's personality or his demeanor in the locker room or his ability or personality, whatever the case may be. Brian Urlacher is no fan of Cutler, so for him to kind of say, hey, Jay, no one is there's huge dissension in the Bears locker room against this guy. Everyone's upset with the benching McCown. I shouldn't say benching McCown, but letting the starting quarterback return to starting form and needing that time to do so, needing the game to do that. There's what's the NFL all about? It's all about flashy headlines and high flying offense and drama. That's the name of the game for the NFL, and I think there should be more attention paid to to South Beach in Miami and what's going around with Richie Incognito. So that's where your priorities are in place. You see what the NFL is all about: drama, money, viewership, all that sort of stuff. They don't really seem to have much of a care or second thought regarding letting someone an ex-player throw another player under the bus. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just asking fans or those that happen to hear Glazer's insane report stating that the entire locker room was up in arms that Jay Cutler would be starting over Josh McCown. It's completely preposterous. Mark Trestman's been nothing but consistent, and that consistency has gone a long way and has built a lot of credibility as far as the season has gone on, which I'm happy about. And so if Jay Glazer wants to be just an NFL shill, that's fine. I have no problem with that because, well, that's all about is what he's good for. So he's just a meathead. I would not have to trust anything that he has to say. Certainly that embarrassing NFL production about making excuses for Richie Incognito. If it did not destroy any sort of credibility that Jay Glazer has, let me help add some fuel to that fire, because I have no use for NFL tools, for mouthpieces, for corporate mouthpieces. Heck, I'm in a very lucky situation. I know that sports radio individuals across the country do not get that luxury because they are part of a corporation, be it CBS, be it ESPN, whatever the case may be, Fox, whoever it is. Satellite radio has got a couple different ones out there, but they all tie back and feed into the same sort of organization mentality, selling, not necessarily bringing you, well, an honest opinion. There are those that do, not going to say that they don't. An honest, true opinion or reporting true facts. Glazer, when it comes to NFL Fox, or Fox Sunday Morning, Fox NFL Sunday, the pregame show, no, that's not where you should be going for news. If that's where you're going for news, if that's what you believe, you got bigger problems. And if that's the case, I have a couple bridges to sell you, as well as some beachfront property, or ocean view property, I should say, in Utah. So please connect with me, shoot me an email, and I'll be able to arrange those purchases for you. Other than that, around Chicago, what can I say? The Blackhawks have kind of rounded back to form. Last week they went on a tear after losing 3 straight. Went on a tear, scoring, 19 goals in 3 games, 6-6-7. Bouncing back again yesterday, putting up a nice cricket number against the Kings. They had a meltdown the night before up north. In Toronto Saturday night. Wasn't necessarily fun to watch, but they bounced back and they play well against the West, continuing their dominance there. All I can say is I'm very happy about that. The rings were presented very nice and blingy and big and gaudy and all those sorts of things, but they're fun to watch. And I guess after the 3-game winning streak that they had last week, the NHL has really started to take notice to them, and I can hear that a lot from when I listen in the mornings from the NHL Network, and how they are finally, I should say finally, starting to give a lot of credit to the Blackhawks organization, or to the inferno that is the Western Conference, because of all of the high-powered teams and the talent-laden teams, I should say the extremely talent-laden teams in the West, including St. Louis, Nashville, San Jose, Vancouver at times, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Colorado even. You have just a pressure cooker as far as talent and competition is concerned. And, well, I don't see things changing of late here. So I'm really happy that the West is as strong as it is, and I'm very happy that the Blackhawks are rising to the challenge and being as dominant as they are. They've had to suffer deal with their own bout of injuries with goaltenders, and their replacement one from their developmental league, from the AHL, American Hockey League, out in Rockford, Antti Ranta. Very happy with his production. I know he didn't have a good game Saturday night, but he's getting experience. He's getting what he needs, and as Hawk Harrelson says, experience is something that you want, but you don't want to get it. So that's kind of how the Blackhawks are right now. We're happy about that. The East is, I don't know, just the East, and as far as the hyper competition in the West, it's kind of where we're going to keep our focus here on Chicago Sports Update. Moving over to baseball and hot season reports. Well, the hot stove season, reports the White Sox decided to make a trade, sending, well, unfortunately, one of my favorite players from the past couple of years in Addison Reed, their closer, to the Arizona Diamondbacks in exchange for their one of their top-rated prospects, a very good hitting third baseman named Matt Davidson. I'm very happy that that's the case, that they're continuing to get younger. Not that Addison Reed was some old fogey, but he's a piece that unfortunately has more use to other teams rather than yourself, considering the mentality and the rebuild that has to go on at U.S. Cellular Field. So I'm very happy about that. Maybe finally we have a third base. The White Sox have an answer for third base. Certainly that does eliminate the need for Jeff Keppinger. I wouldn't mind seeing him go bye-bye if he wants to go back to the Rays, by all means, but he certainly is not what the White Sox need at this point in time. They do not need a platoon player, for the team any more than they need another, washed up. I shouldn't say washed up, but another power outage DH spot. They already have enough of that as far as Adam Dunn is concerned. So we'll see what happens. I expect further trades to happen. Diane Vicito, I certainly expect to be traded, left fielder. I certainly expect Alejandro De Aza, center fielder, to be traded. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Adam Dunn is traded. I'd certainly like that. Let him go to a team that needs some left-handed power because, well, you always need that. And going forward, the White Sox aren't really going to need that because of the younger talent that they are acquiring and are trying to put out there and forge into a contending team. I certainly hope that is the case. So that would be nice. MLB also announced a deal with the Japanese Nippon League as far as letting players transfer over from the Nippon League to Major League Baseball. They've agreed to a posting system where Major League Baseball teams would post up to $20 million to negotiate with the player. If anyone matches it, you can get in line and each talk to them. Each talk to that player. This coming along the heels of the next big sensation to come out of Japan, last name of Tanaka. He's starting pitcher in a very credible league. So while we expect some of the numbers, while baseball experts and fans expect some of the numbers to transfer over nicely, it certainly seems like he may be worth the money, especially with what Yu Darvish has done here in the major leagues. So we'll see who ends up bidding for him. I know the big sexy names out there are currently the Dodgers, the Yankees. I think the Rangers have even gotten in there, the Mariners as well, and ironically the Cubs. I was watching some commentary today, just on one of the local stations here, that bringing him over will help develop and accelerate the Cubs' plans as far as developing a contender. I don't know if that really makes a whole lot of sense. I would certainly expect maybe no more than a 3 or 4 year deal to a pitcher like that. If you go anywhere above 5, you go in the realm of 5-6 years for a pitcher, you're putting yourself in some hot water because pitching injuries are most likely to occur. They're the ones most vulnerable to your roster. So getting those kind of injuries in, trying to hedge your bets against that and letting a player mentally try to strive to keep healthy, I think is a very good way of doing business. But when good talent is out there, sometimes you have to bend the rules or bend the standards for that matter. So we'll see what happens there. Certainly will be interesting to see who he goes to. I certainly think one of the big pocket teams, like of course the Yankees or the Dodgers, are most inclined to get him or will win the bid for him. I would love to see the White Sox at him if that was the case. Certainly probably having to max out the bid there at $20 million to even talk to him. That's nice. Better than having to spend 50 or 60 as it was with Yu Darvish and Daisuke Matsuzaka. So we'll see what happens there. But it's nice to see some progress being made as far as making the major league game much more of an international game and getting international stars coming over. So that would be nice. Otherwise, what else can I say? Bears win. We're looking forward to next week as far as them going over to Philly and seeing how bad the defense can be against LaShawn McCoy, but also how well the offense can bounce back. I don't know what the weather's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's similar conditions, but either way, it should be fun. It's been a fun season. Yes, we all hope that the Bears make the playoffs. Yes, we have some tempered expectations, but it's been fun nonetheless. In a couple weeks, we will know the result of the winner of our Chicago Sports Update Pick'em Pool, and the winner will get, again, a $50 gift card, thanks to all of those that had participated. We'll try to run it again next year, so it's pretty simple. It's fun, nice and easy. So that about does it for me this week, and we will hope to talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to Chicago Sports Update here on Intrepid Audio Productions. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter by searching IAP Podcasts, all one word. We make it easy to listen to us at home or on the go because you can subscribe to us via iTunes or on your browser at Spreaker.com. Listen to us on the go with the Stitcher Radio app, available for all smartphones. Want to interact with the team directly? Leave any questions, comments, or feedback you may have at our Facebook page. You can also like our page to know about special events, shows topics, and listen directly on our page to new and past episodes. Feel free to email us anytime at iappodcast@gmail.com. IAP Podcasts, pioneering the best in independent podcasting.
Hello, listeners. Once you're done catching up with everything Intrepid Audio Productions has to offer, check out some other great independent podcast shows like the Knights of the Video Game Table podcast. Jeremy, Patrick, and Frank do great work, and it's worth your time to check them out. They're part of the Nerdgasm Network, where you can find other cool shows, including the Super Budget Brothers, the Nerdgasm Network Video Game Podcast, and all other shows, which can be found at extraplay.info. Give them a listen, because good, honest work can be hard to find.